Struggling with prop firms? Let's go. Hey guys, so today we're going to be speaking about the power of the trend, why it's a confluence if you want to call it, or why is it super important to have it part of your edge. Running now a position on UJ, and obviously I make these, if you've been watching my content for a long time, I post these trading these small little 10k accounts because the whole point is start small. And let me just show you something. I'm actually in a position right now, so this is for UJ, right? Running in a position right now, 5% in profit. And if I even show you the trade history, just taking 3 positions, and if you've been watching my channel for a while, you know I aim for those good win rates, high risk rewards. Lost the 2 trades, 1% each. Third trade caught a 1 to 7 risk reward trade in 3 trades. And just so you know that this is all real, Ftmo. And if you were again watching my content for a long time, you know I press these prop firm challenges in 1 or 2 trades, 1 or 2 days, super quick. Time is money. And as you can see here as well, 33% win rate, only taken 3 trades, first day of trading this account. Average risk reward 6.8, 1 to 6.8 RR. Biggest trade 1 to 700, 7% trade loss. 3 trades here, biggest loss 1%. And obviously you can see here, so just working on this. I'm going to be breaking down some. Obviously I'll take advantage of the trend and all that as well. And also, if you want one-to-one mentorship from myself, link will be in the video description. You can see success of 1400 students, including myself, my certificates in there as well. It's all about transparency. You can check it out. And also, if you think you can't afford the mentorship, obviously get in touch with myself once you join the Discord. I've also made something for where it's suitable for everyone. If you're from these country parts of the world, due to huge demand, made a call, super affordable, only £99, and you get an account, password, everything, regular updates, one-time payment. We'll be increasing this payment in the future, so yeah, link will be in the video description. Okay, let me just show you this. Are we still running in profit, or are we? Even if it's all cool, even if this trade was to hit my stop loss, it's okay. It's now this is a bit of a it's a sell, but it's a bit of a counter trend trade. Okay, so we're starting to drop a little now. I'm only looking for a 1 to 5. Trust me, with this strategy, my edge that why do I keep consistently make these little videos of these little accounts, right? Start small, right? And you'll see the and again, let me just show you that it's actually on Ftmo. Let's go on live metrics, right? So you can actually see what's happening live, which is a cool feature on Ftmo I really like. And it basically just shows you in your live position, rather than checking your MT5 or MT4, whatever platform you're using. This will actually show you, taking some time to load here. So you can see over here. Oh, has this tanked quite significantly? Okay, it has. Okay, just let this run, and when you check it out, hopefully, it'll be nice to see. Again, 10% target, phase 1. I'm just showing that the edge is there, the skill set. Once you acquire it, you can just take full advantage of these prop firms. Okay, we have just nicely collapsed furthermore. I'll put this on the daily chart, by the way. I just want to make something very clear, because I don't want to go on the small time frames, because people just start I get these messages, oh, you do trade like this, is this what you're actually doing? No, that is not how I trade. And you just come up with their own theories and all that. And then there was actually 2 people that actually blew an account, and they're like, hey man, we thought you trade like this, and no, that is not how I trade. So to avoid that, by the way, just taken, it's still just 3 trades taken. Lost the first trade at 1%, lost the second trade at again another 1%, so 2% was down, as you can see here, Ftmo account. And then third trade, this is running at 33% win rate with a 1 to 7% trade in one go. And now we are currently on the 4th trade, looking for a nice 1 to 5. If I do pull this off with this trade, which will be a nice 1 to 5. So let me just get the calculator out. What this basically does is SL to entry. Stops are break even. I am risk free. Let me just move this out the way. We are risk free. Now what I'm basically looking for is just gonna this run. So let's just continue with the video. What I'm gonna do now is show you some identifying the trends, how to take, again, Why is this trend now? Obviously, on the daily, guys, you know, this is we are bullish on the daily. Huge. Let me get the mouse while I'm getting my hand. So we are bullish here on the daily, right? But I've gone for obviously on the small time frame. It's actually, you know, there are trends within trends. There's actually a opportunity to take a sell. I'm not saying that it was a downtrend, but overall here you can see on the daily huge downtrend. But what I've done, and then obviously capitalized on the small time frame to take a sell position. So let's get this out of the way and continue with the video. Another thing I want to quickly touch up on as well is, guys, I get all my confidence, everything from back-tested data. This is GJ. I'm on the 4-hour time frame. This is from data collected from about 2 years ago, you know, and again 2 years worth of data as well. One blue line to blue line is 1 week, one red line to one red line is 1 month. So you can see how much data I've collected, right? This ain't a joke. Let me just go more to the left so you can actually see. Yeah, it's pretty insane. So okay, so let's work on with gold. Huge bullish impulse move on UJ. In the beginning of, you know, obviously I earlier showed gold, but let's just stick to UJ, right? So what I've seen on UJ for today, if I would just take this approach for today, you know, huge bearish push to the downside. Now, does this mean let's put this down here, and what I'm going to do is move this to the left here. Just move it to the left on my other monitor, so there's no distractions. Okay, and okay, so basically, you know, move huge downtrend right now. Obviously at this point, there's a certain point you can start, you know, 1 minute, put it down here. Okay, breakthrough here, I can see breakthrough. Now there's a certain point eventually comes when major pillars get broken and you start focusing on buys. Now you know, focusing on sells from here at this point. I mean, you can see, right, this is insane. This is insane. Look at this huge push to the downside. People may be having a bit of confusion. We'll start focusing on buys here. Maybe you would have been successful for a short while, but then what happens? Trend takes over. Now price moves in waves, so we, you know, get a little bit of a buyers trying to survive. This way, again, perfect example of why buyers were never in control. Buyers, you know, try to, you know, take control, but then market just became choppy, low volume. Why? Sellers, you know, try to just maul them, and which they were successful, and price falls down again, much further down. Let's clean this up and push it further down. Now at this point, you know, buyers start to take control. So from this point, when can you start focusing on buys? When can you start focusing on buys? Remember, you want to keep things very simple, right? You have a skyscraper, you have the foundation, you have the roof, you have the ground. You want to keep you got to focus on the pillars that what are keeping this foundation, like with this structure, this building standing. In my eyes, from, you know, let's grab these here, and what we'll do is keep drawing. So this is one over here, one over here, one over here, another one over here, and then one over here. These are going to be your major, you know, structure points where price, let me just delete this one, where price, for me to continue selling, has to break these levels over here, has to break these, right? Now, not just, okay, that's just for me to take sells, right? Continue taking sells has to break these levels over here. For me to now take buys, let's bring those in again. A price has to break. Now this is just a beginning, so I want to mark these in green. This one here, and this one here. This is going to be the major one, and this one over here. So let's just change the color of these, right? So the red, call the major ones in black. What's happened here? Just want to grab this one, giving you a little bit of an idea of trend shift structure. Call this in black, which I'm obviously failing to do, so one moment. Okay, the major ones here in black, these red ones over here, you know, are obviously, you know, these need to break for me to continue selling, and these one in green, again need to break for me to have a shift bias of that we could possibly start buying again. So here obviously that happens, these three get broken, but something interesting happens, right? When price breaks through here, now does that mean, obviously, now look at this, obviously at this point here, you know, if I were to go in for a buy, it would have worked in my favor and I would have won that trade for a buy as well. But things obviously start consolidating here again. Now why do you think this consolidation takes place? Let me just mark this out like this. Ideally, if I wanted to refine this, it would actually be like this, right? Why do you think things start consolidating here? Because as we go further and further up, this is a major resistance level, and this is also a major, now people, some traders will call this supply and demand levels, where price, you know, look at this, where you see market just absolutely falls off here like a waterfall, sellers just absolutely fall off, you know. But whether you want, however you want to look at it, support, resistance, supply and demand, whatever you want to call it, because let me just mark this one as well, this area here and this one is a major resistance level. Now why? Now I like to keep things super simple. This is one ugly looking head and shoulder pattern. This would be the right shoulder, right? What I've seen from experience is normally from the right shoulder, when price is going back to a bullish, you ideally want these levels to be broken, not respected, for continue taking buys. Here, these structure points over here, for me to continue taking a buy from, now you got to look at different levels to this, right? These, you know, I don't focus on buys straight away. If the remember, this is to continue focusing on taking sells. These major ones here, you can start focusing on buys. So you could have taken a buy from here. I mean, but look at the amount of volume that's coming. The amount of volume. This is exactly when price comes back down here, it just goes back up, right? Always look to the left, and price will tell you some new kind of information. You want to trade with volume, you want to trade with the trend, you want to trade with the quality of the breakout. You know, you want to apply these. Now obviously one thing I don't show, which I show in my course, in my mentorship, is how I draw my zones, how I take my entries, because those two things alone, you know, obviously it's the way I've refined my edge. It wouldn't be fair to the students if I show you in this. I'm just trying to touch, you know, more on zones and structure. Sorry, structure and trend. So bearish for a long time, and then we see a shift down here. So again, let's just grab a random, so one over here, oops, one over here, respect areas of resistance. Let me just clean this up because that's wrong. It should be this one over here to the, okay, let me just clean this up one as well. Okay, perfect. So these two now have been broken, right? These were the previous highs, you want to call it, compared to these structure points here. This high here, this high here, there's one over here, but these two are pretty equal anyway, so that's fine. These get broken now, and the funny thing is, the crazy thing is, if I draw it like this, price breaks through, perfect, super clean rejection, right? Again, if the quality, if your zones are super clean, you're going to see price just absolutely destroy and you know, risk RRs, and you're going to just take full advantage. Now after that one, it was this one over here, right? And that is why you see perfect rejection for respecting it as resistance. Price breaks through, now price perfect rejection as support, and price just absolutely, you know, comes down here. And if you have to focus on a entry, if I go to a much small time frame, whether it be the 5 minute, 2 minute, whatever you want to call it, look at this, price breaks through, comes back down, testing this area. We've got a long wick bullish rejection, now not the best quality bullish candle, but we've got a, you know, morning star pattern forming. And let's see what we see on the 1 minute time frame. Any other significant candle patterns? We have two candlesticks, long wick rejection over here. You can see this one over here, long wick rejection, bullish candle, super strong bullish candle, well, no wick at the top, and a super strong bullish candle over here, and price just flies up, you know. and you can even see, you know, price is breaking, you know, structure points even on the small time frame, and then obviously price just keeps going further up, and then you can just take advantage. Now I don't want to make this video way, you know, too long. I mean,